Hello, everybody. Welcome. There's a psych investigator. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rose, a psych investigator. I know this, I've done this before where sometimes the head will mess up the microphone. So I must keep it separate. So guys, how have you been, huh? I didn't do a video yesterday. The times, are intense, guys. Honestly, energetically, I think it may have been a case of something like this. But we have plenty to discuss today, and so let's see. How do I start? All right, 1 second. I was just double checking that the audio is plugged in correctly. It is. So let's start. All right. Before I do that, let's do protection. I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. Step into it. Step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and source. Okay. So, so now, made a smoothie. Guys, by the way, change this object completely. I like to add cucumbers to smoothies. Cucumber is really excellent. Did you know that? Oh, yes, I did. No, but making a juice, putting cucumber in it, it's very good. Right. So I put also protein powders and all kinds of things. So I have a high protein intake because I need it. Okay. Now that was just a comment about what I was drinking. And now let's go. So there's two main topics for today. So let's get to it. Okay. Okay. So I'm seeing what I had mentioned a while back would be a sign we're close to the end. Jamie Dimon defending Jay Powell, and Trump determined to take down Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. So I don't remember exactly what it was, guys. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, probably something like that. I had seen the face of Jamie Dimon revolting against Trump, and I had seen that Trump would really try to take down Jay Powell, who's the head of the Federal Reserve. And you probably know, this is a secret or anything, that the far right, the extremists, really want to destroy the American economy. And you can argue that these tariffs are doing that, right? What is the point of them? But destruction, right? And this idea that the far right conspiracists, and some of them are, they believe that Fed should be destroyed because they want to destroy the dollar, right? It's the goal. I know it's really hard for people to understand it because it's so evil, but that's the goal: is destroy the American economy. It's what they want. Okay. So he's been attacking Jay Powell. Now I had shown on this channel, I don't think we need to look at it again. I recommend that you look it up. Jay Powell, Princeton speech. So he's a graduate of Princeton. During graduation, he made a speech for the class. I don't know if it was last year. It was beautiful. And I think it was this year actually. And he talked about independence, right? Democracy, and the fact that he's a lawyer, so he knows he can't be fired. And yet Trump is articulating to do just that. So I am looking into this again, just because it's something I had seen before. There would be really a dividing waters if there's such a thing. So this is this. Now before we get into that, let me show you the other topic of today. And the topic is, let me share that too. Meanwhile, as a means to distract from the Epstein combo, the White House says Trump has venous insufficiency. And this tweet was really good. Trump's connections are so bad, they released stuff on Trump's health for the first time. And here we have from Brian Tyler Cohen, the White House is reportedly working to kill a potentially explosive story from the Wall Street Journal relating to Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is personally calling them to try to prevent it from being published. Now, right now is about 7 p.m. Eastern time. I must have taken the screenshot about half an hour ago. And maybe by the time this is published, it's possible, I don't know, if the Wall Street Journal will have published this. So it's possible, as it's one of those things, right? Things move so fast these days. So let's actually ask about that first. All right. So first, and I have to be honest with you guys, I don't think that this venous insufficiency it is not fatal per se. It could be an indication of many things, but I don't think, I mean, he's 80, he eats terribly, he does not exercise. So it's like, it's not a shock, right? So, but I completely agree on this. I think it's a way to try to change the conversation, since there is a lot of curiosity about his health. It makes it, it's like, that's what it is. I'm gonna just double check. Is this, yes, of course, Rosie, of course it is. It's saying his health is not a danger to national security. He is. Okay. All right. So now let me go to open up to write out the headlines here. So let's go to it. So Trump is trying to kill a story the Wall Street Journal is working on about his relationship with Epstein. Okay, so what is going on? And what is in this story? I'm sure we will find out very soon. So, okay, what is going on here? Oh, I see Trump reading it. Because, and I see that there's the girls, you know how you could, guys, you can look up online. There's a testimony of the woman who was then 13 years old. I see that it's something also about the modeling agency. It's like, yes, it's the stuff. That's who it's saying he's trying to cover up to kill the story about who he really is. Okay, because that's who he is. He is that man who preyed on young girls and had a financial relationship with Epstein for exploiting women. Sorry, I'm trying to move here to light. For exploiting women. So very nice, very nice person. I recommending him as a great colleague, great person. But I see that it's saying, it's so fascinating, guys. What I'm seeing is that image again of the Oscar Wilde story of the I always talk about it, of the painting. There's a painting in the attic, Dorian Gray, right? So there's a painting in the attic. There was a monstrosity that always hidden, and this was this charming man that everybody liked. And then he goes to the attic. He always observed the painting, and suddenly the painting is beautiful. And it's because the monstrosity of who he is comes out. And that's the same thing with Trump. We're starting to see the monstrosity, right? That he always tried to. Does it make sense? It's like now the monstrosity that was hidden in the attic is in the public eye. But the odd thing is that it was in the public, but there was just people didn't pay attention to that and let him get away with all this, right? It's not like, what a shocker that he has, I think nobody would be shocked by this, but okay, but things have changed. And now has become toxic to him finally. Okay, so all right, so what else? Say there's payments to him, payments to and from each other. And I see people even close to Trump may have given the receipts. Oh, and it's saying those investigations, they have the information. Okay. So it's coming out. And then what is this going to do to him? And I see that all fingers are pointing at him. And that's that. And I saw somebody comment with a comment that I thought was really interesting online, saying that this is Russia's operatives trying to isolate him, how to punish him, right? I think there is I'm not saying that they did it, but it's the momentum is very against him. Somehow this has all caught up, okay, with him, right? It's at some point it is exploding. What is the difference between now and then? It shows me a spin, almost like a ventilator, like a spinning machine that suddenly stops, and then it starts everything, the S starts hitting the fan. Literally, and it hits his face. But because before, if you kept it going, it was a spinning machine that nothing ever stopped. It just put stuff on it. Once it stopped, once it breaks down, boom, it hits him. because he's guilty, right? I mean, it's not like there's so much evidence that they're hanging out together, all these places on there. So, okay, so. Okay. So what happens once this is published? Because clearly that's what it looks, what happens to him. I see people that he is humiliated. He feels humiliated. But I don't mean to be that play the devil's advocate here, but nothing ever stops him. What is different about this? The base rebels. And I see interesting that Elon Musk is determined to take him down, even though we know, right, there's something there. Okay, so okay, so then Glamis Maxwell is appealing to the Supreme Court. Okay, so now obviously I'm on the side of Glamis Maxwell, but it is a little unfair, right? If he's so innocent, all these people, there's nothing, then why should she be in prison, right? But at the same time, she has all the dirt on so many people. So what's going to happen to her? What is going to happen to her, and what happens to her this appeal to the Supreme Court? I see that the justices like really nervous because they themselves know that their buddies are the right wingers. Even Alito is actually quite nervous. No, because some of his buddies might be on it. And I see that Alito is like very, oh, men have needs and the blah blah blah. He's pro, those people, they're just such horrible people, those men, my God. Anyway, so okay. Then what happens? She's there. I see her putting the case on the docket somehow. And then her hand is cut. It comes out. And all this stuff comes out. So she loses her, like her moral. Could we say that? Right? It's like the monstrosity of everything that's happening is just gross. So what will happen? She should tell the truth. What's going to happen? I see that she just has to go back to prison because the thing Trump becomes associated with it once for all. It all comes out, and then I see this image of quote and take advantage. Okay, so taking advantage. Yeah, so then I see this as more is going to come out. He's going to release information to show that he's above Trump. Like, oh, look, I'm better than you. Then he's completely humiliated. Now, again, we know that he is godless, he is evil. So, what is still what we want is for him to be taken down? Again, I feel like he's going to do the craziest things to try to appease. He's still afraid of Putin. And it still comes down to the military coming. And I still see, it's funny, Elon Musk in some island releasing the information about the election. So, okay. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, this is this part. So let's go back to the other part of the segment, which is about Jay Powell. And that is, this is one of, I mean, Trump is a horrific, horrendous person. His government is treasonous, it's genocidal, it's just awful. But the step about destroy the American economy is one of the absolute worst things that he is doing. So let's go look at it. Okay. All right. Okay. So as I had spoken about at the beginning, I saw that here we have the conditions, right, that I had seen before that would determine, that would somehow indicate that we're close to an ending. So the story was here, let's just look at it. So Trump has been attacking this man for a while. Let me actually stop share and share the actual screen here. Mhm. Donald Trump escalating attacks on Federal Reserve. President's offensive against Jay Powell has prompted swings in the dollar and lifted long-term inflation expectations. Donald Trump's escalating attacks on Federal Reserve have rattled financial markets, with investors increasingly concerned about risks to the central bank's independence and long-term ability to fight inflation. Trump later insisted it was highly unlikely he would imminently fire the Fed chair, setting the dollar, but the incident highlights how the president's intensifying criticism of Powell is affecting markets. So that's the goal. That's I think Russia's goal and the goal of many people to weaken the American economy. Okay, so the economists of all the big banks are agreeing with that. Here it is. Trump and his allies are attacking Powell on two fronts. The president has referred to Powell as a numbskull, has called to the Fed to slash rates by as much as 3 percentage points from their current level of 4.25 to 4.5. The Fed has, however, refrained from cutting rates partially over concerns that Trump's tariffs will stoke inflation. Senior administration officials are also claiming Powell has botched a $2.5 billion renovation of the central bank's Washington headquarters with Russell Vought. Oh my God, the worst person. Like, he's the guy from Project 2025, Office of Manager and Budget Director, alleging the project was grossly mismanaged and ostentatious. Now you see the level, the devils that are after him, after Powell, right? And we see Project 25 that wants to, like, that's what they want. So, oh, let me go back here to attack on Jay Powell. What will happen? Will he succeed? Okay, so let's see what is going to happen. Is he going to, somebody just one second, I'm gonna get my cards here because it's one of those situations that I think it's important to get. Let's see here. All right, let's see a few things. Okay, so let's see what the visions says. Will he succeed? So it's interesting. I see that Trump is like shaking his office. Like somebody, imagine somebody was behind you, shaking his chair, yelling at him, shaking his chair. Oh, he's the chair. This is also his title, right? But he's literally shaking his chair, and it shows me these little devil creatures like yelling at Jay Powell. But he's very patrician and very classy, and he stays in his position, pretends like he's not hearing. And then I see that he rises to the size of the Statue of Liberty, and he stays, and everybody claps for him. So no, and I see that. So show me who leaves first, Trump or Jay Powell? I think Trump. I did. Somehow I don't see him leaving. So is he going to leave? False person. Yes. Waiting. Change. Letter. Gift. Ending. Okay. So this is mistake. So all these really good cards, I think it's funny, there's a lot of people cards in the system, but it's not showing. So I don't feel like, so he's waiting. There's a big change that comes, a pleasant letter, gifts, right? Then an end. So I don't feel like, I think the person who is going to have to go is not Jay Powell. So let's see. Let's see here. Does Trump succeed in getting rid of Jay Powell? Okay, the foe exposed. Thoughts and ideas or plans. The wedding is deal. Okay. Surprise. The pleasure seekers are the Trump people. Conversations. Death. Bye. From Florida. Okay. People, that's why misfortune. So I don't, for some reason, I don't see like the foe is the people in your environments that are saying this, like planning, deal, surprise, pleasure seekers, conversation. Okay. Journey. I see, that's why I feel like the ending here to me does not feel like it will. So what happens to Jay Powell? Let's see, what happens to Jay Powell? What is going to happen? Just to check. What happens to Jay Powell? The house, that's why the house, right? Success or son exposing something, woman. Could be, is it common? Fighting. Stace. This is a card of staying, like anchor. Guilty or something shady. The plan, the good person. Changes, shifts. Secret. See, that's right. I don't see the card of like, I don't. Okay, so no, I don't feel like he will. Now, is this, and then let's go back to the role that I know. Okay, know a lot of people saying, oh, the story about the Epstein situation. About, I want to talk about Jamie Dimon, and I understand. Okay, that Chase Bank may have processed this or had the accounts. He had accounts in it or something, but I'm not going to blame Jamie. Okay, I think this is Jamie Dimon is a very steadying force on Wall Street, and he's very influential, and he's stalking a lot. He's blowing the whistle essentially on the private credit markets already. And so I trust him. I have to say I trust him. Okay. But the fact that I kept seeing his face and I see now that he is again going against Trump. Okay. He's openly. Okay. Yeah. And I still see this historically that he will be this person seen as this like somebody who fought and didn't let him do what he wanted. Okay. Let's see, actually. Let's go to that article. Okay. Because I don't think the American people or most people understand the gravity of this, right? Or how serious this is. Okay. Jamie Dimon warns on Fed independence as Donald Trump piles pressure on Jay Powell. JP Morgan chief's comments come as Treasury Secretary says formal process to replace central bank chief is underway. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Tuesday that a formal process to select a successor to Jay Powell as chair of Fed has begun as the White House's frustration with the central bank's reluctance to cut interest rates grows. But Dimon, chief executive of JP Morgan, cautioned that the independence of the Fed is absolutely critical, and not just for the current Fed chair, whom I respect, Jay Powell, for the next Fed chair. Playing around with the Fed can have adverse consequences, the absolute opposite of what you might be hoping for. Now, let's see. Okay, so there's a formal process already starting. Bessent told Bloomberg Television. There are a lot of great candidates, and we'll see how rapidly it progresses. It's President Trump's decision, and it will move at his speed. So now let's stop this again and ask. Okay, Scott Bessent. Okay, has it succeeded? No, will it succeed? Okay, will it succeed? So let's see, show me Besant and I see Trump talking to him, and this is what we have to say. He goes, he says it. Again, it's sort of like they say things as a means to make it inevitable. Okay, that's it. It's like, okay, he's wow. And then I see Besant with a knife sent to cut the head of Powell. And he comes like, hello, hello, this is Besant, Scott Besant. And he comes with a huge knife, and Jay Powell grabs it. I'm sorry, what did you come here to do again? You know you're on camera, right? Wow, it's amazing, guys. Jay Powell is unflappable. He's not afraid. This guy is so slimy, isn't he? Scott Bessent. Wow. Wow. Okay, so now let us continue. Let us continue. Huh? So that's so no, it's saying they will not succeed. Wow. And I see that it's so sad to say this, but I'm in a good vibration. I can say it. That I see that Bessent, he has some firm or financial firms of some sort, and these people are betting on the total collapse of the American economy. So the asset prices are low and they can buy in and they can have their crypto bullshit, whatever that is. And even the guys today, I'm not even going to talk about it. So Trump put some, I guess, his executive order saying that it's okay to use crypto for retirement, which is awful because it's a scam, right? So he wants people to buy into the scam so that everybody gets impoverished once the thing crashes. So but it's still telling me, don't say, Rosie, don't worry, it will not, like, it's not gonna come through. The the disaster he's planning for will be halted before it has a chance to really happen. Okay. So okay, so this is it for today, guys. Okay, what a time to be alive. So who knows by the time I publish this, we'll see if the news of the Wall Street Journal will be published or not. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop here and see you tomorrow.